Hello, friends. We are going to discuss I think I may be clearly audible to you, and therefore I take this opportunity okay, as we are talking about uh, spoken English, broken English. I have already made explanation in I have already given explanation in Marathi. So in this lecture I am going to just provide a very succinct or a very brief summary of it. And here nothing is ideally correct English. See, there can be correct English, but ideally आदर्श अशी English नहीं. No two British people speak exactly. And he says further that he is a member of the British Broadcasting Corporation, and the purpose of that British Broadcasting Corporation, how to pronounce words, how to utter words. And further he talks about that the people, most of the members of that BBC are from various background, different background. Some of them are poet laureate, some of them are actors, some of them are well-known personalities. Here he says that Sir Johnson Robertson's famous not only actor but beauties of speech. Some are orator also. Some are writers, playwriters, or they are eloquent speaker. Therefore, I think that, and they are coming from different background, different regions in the Britain, and therefore he says that the simplest of simple words and commonest of the common word, that is yes and no. This word, member of that BBC pronounced in a different way. And whose pronunciations are you going to say that this is a correct and others ones is incorrect? And further he goes on to talk that what he goes on to talk that if you want to make your language presentable, intelligible for the other people, other nations people, uh, other part of that nation state, which model we should choose as a model. He says that he himself is Irish and everyone is a patriotic, everyone loves their region, particular region, provincial life, and that is why he would recommend that it is Irish. And he says that no two native speaker speak in the same way, same fashion, same manner. But perhaps you are clever enough to ask me whether I am myself speak in the same way. I must confess at once that I do not. He further asks questions to himself that तुम्ही जर मला प्रश्न विचारला की मी सतत सारख्याच पद्धतीने बोलतो का, तर नाही. सारख्याच पद्धतीने उच्चार काढतो का, नाही. तर नोबडी डज, कोणीच तसं करत नाही, मीही तसं करत नाही. आय एम प्रेझेंट स्पीकिंग टू अनाउन्स, आय एम ॲट प्रेझेंट, सध्या तरी अनाउन्स करायला ऑफ मेनी थाउजंड ऑफ ग्रॅमोफोनिस्ट, of many of whom are trying hard to follow my word syllable by syllable. सिच्युएशन समजून घ्या की जॉर्ज बर्नार्ड शॉ तिथे भाषण देत आणि भाषण देत असल्या कारणाने पत्रकार वगैरे ग्रॅमोफोन घेऊन, माईक घेऊन तिथे आहेत. काही प्रत्येक शब्दांचा उच्चार कसा केला जात आहे याच्याकडे लक्ष देत. जर मी असं बोललो ना, इफ आय वेअर टू स्पीक, द कंडिशनल सेंटेन्स आहे की मी जसं घरी बोलतो, जसं माझ्या बायकोला बोलतो निष्काळजीपणाने, तितक्याच निष्काळजीपणाने मी जर बोललो तर काय होईल? काय म्हणतो तो? If I were to speak to you as carelessly as I speak to my wife at home, this record would be useless. हे बोलणं निरर्थक ठरेल. आणि if I were to speak to my wife at home as carefully as I am speaking to you, she would think that I was going mad. हे तुम्हाला जितकं इथं सिरियस होऊन बोलत आहे, तितकंच जर सिरियस होऊन जर मी बायकोला बोललो तर ती मला म्हणेन की आता हा पागल होण्याच्या मार्गावरती आहे. ॲज अ पब्लिक स्पीकर, I have to take care of every words I say is heard distinctly and as far end of large hall containing 1,000 people. त्यामुळे ह्या हॉलमध्ये जेवढे लोक इथे उपस्थित आहेत, हजारो लोक उपस्थित आहेत, त्यांना प्रत्येकाला माझा जो शब्द आहे तो स्पष्टपणे उच्चारला गेला पाहिजे आणि तेव्हाच त्यांना मी काय म्हणत आहे ते कळेल. पण घरी जर मी हेच जर केलं तर when I have to consider only my wife sitting within the 6 feet talk of me at breakfast, I take so little pain with my speech that very often instead of giving me the expected answer, she says, "Don't mumble." मला उत्तर देण्याच्या ऐवजी ती काय करत असते, जेव्हा मी नाश्ता करायला बसलेलो असतो त्यावेळेला ती काय म्हणते, असं पुटपुटत जाऊ नका, असं डोंट टर्न युअर हेड अवे फ्रॉम युअर स्पीच. तुम्ही जेव्हा बोलता तेव्हा तुमचं मान हलवू नका किंवा फिरू नका. तुम्ही जे काही बोलत आहात ते मला ऐकू येत नाही. आणि शी इज ऑल्सो लिटल केअरलेस, आणि ती पण बेफिक्रीने बोलते, असंच बोलत असते. समटाइम्स आय हॅव टू से वाट 2 or 3 times ड्युरिंग आवर मील. मला 2-3 वेळेस विचारावं लागतं की काय बोलत आहे तो. शी सस्पेक्ट मी ऑफ ग्रोईंग डिफर. त्याला वाटतं की मी अजून बहिरा झालेलो आहे, आणि शी डज नॉट से सो बिकॉज आय एम नाव ओव्हर 70. सध्या मी, कारण मी 70 पेक्षा जास्त आहे. इट माइट बी ट्रू, नो डाऊट आय ऑट टू स्पीक टू माय वाईफ ॲज केअरफुली ॲज आय शुड स्पीक टू ए क्वीन. मी जसं राणीला बोलत आहे तशाच पद्धतीने तितक्याच काळजीने मी बायकोला बोललं पाहिजे. आणि टू मी ॲज केअरफुली ॲज शी वूड स्पीक टू ओके. ते मला असं बोलले पाहिजे की जे जणू काही ते राजालाच बोलत आहे असं बोलले पाहिजे. काय सांगण्याचा त्यांचा उद्देश आहे की वी ऑट टू बट वी डोंट. आपण असं करायला पाहिजे ह्याचं आपलं नैतिक कर्तव्य असतं, पण ते आपण करत नाही. डोंट बाय द वेज इट इज शॉर्ट डू नॉट. We all have company manners and home manners. आपल्या घरच्या पद्धती वेगळ्या आहेत, आपल्या बाहेरच्या पद्धती वेगळ्या आहेत, बोलण्याचे तऱ्हा वेगळे वेगळे आहेत. आणि इफ यू वर टू कॉल ऑन टू स्ट्रेंज फॅमिली अँड टू लिसन थ्रू द की होल्स, not that I would suggest for a moment that you are capable of doing such a very unladylike or ungentlemanlike thing, but still, if you were enthusiasm for studying language, you could bring yourself to do it just for a few seconds to hear how families speak to one another when there is nobody else listening to them, and then walk into the room and hear how they very differently they speak in your presence. The change would surprise you, even when your home manners are as good as our company's manner. And of course they ought to be much better. They are always different, and the difference is greater in speech than in anything else. Suppose I forgot to wind my watch and it stops. I have to ask somebody to tell me the time. If I ask a stranger, I say, what o'clock is it? The stranger hears every syllable distinctly, but if I ask my wife, all she hears is the closest that is good enough for her. But it will not be good enough for you. So I am speaking to you now much more carefully than I speak to her. But please don't tell her. I am now going to address myself especially in my foreign hearer. I have to give them another warning of quite a different kind. If you are learning English because you intend to travel in England and wish to understand there, do not try to speak English perfectly, because if you do, no one will understand you. I have already explained that though there is no such thing as a perfectly correct English, there are presentable English which we call good English. But in London, 999 out of every 100 people not only speak bad English but speak even the very badly. You may say that even if they do not speak English well themselves, they can at last understand it when it is well spoken. Then can when the speaker is English. But when the speaker is a foreigner, the better he speaks, the harder it is to understand him. No foreigner can ever stress the syllables and make the voice rise and fall in questions and answer, assertions and denials, in refusal and consent. The inquiries or information exactly as a native does. Therefore, the first thing you have to do is to speak with a strong foreign accent and speak broken English. That is, English without any grammar. Then every English person to whom you speak will at once know that you are a foreigner and try to understand you and to ready to help you. He will not expect you to be polite and to use elaborate grammatical phrases. He will be interested in you because you are the foreigner and pleased by his cleverness and making art out of the meaning and being able to tell you what you want to know. If you say, will you have the goodness to direct me to railway terminus at Charing Cross, pronouncing all the vowels and consonants beautifully. He will not understand you and will suspect you of being the beagle or the confident trickster. But if you shout, please Charing Cross, which way, you will have no difficulty. Half a dozen people will immediately overwhelm you with the directions. Even in the private intercourse with cultivated people, you must not speak too well. Apply this to your attempt to learn foreign languages and never try to speak them too well. And do not be afraid to travel. You will be surprised to find how little you need to know or how badly you may pronounce. Even among the English people, to speak too well is a pedantic affectation. In the foreigner, it is something worse than an affectation. It is an insult to the native who cannot understand his own language when it is well spoken. That is all I can tell you. The record will hold no more. Goodbye. What he is exactly talking about? See, George Bernard Shaw was talking that we do not, most of the British people who live in the British Island, 99 out of 100 people express their thought carelessly. They pronounce in a different way. Sometimes whether to use a falling tone or rising tone, or where to give stress, where to use intonation, their falling tone, rising tone, they never use. Foreigner use correct English. But sometimes you might have heard चालो मी तुम्हाला बोललो आणि म्हणालो की हे काम करा. अशा पद्धतीची जर भाषा जर बोलली गेली ना मराठी, तर आपल्याकडे मराठीमध्ये असं स्ट्रेस मारण्याची गरज नाही, अशी बोलायचीही गरज नाही. म्हणजे काय, जेव्हा जेव्हा आपण रायझिंग टोन वापरतो, कधी कधी असं शांत पद्धतीने बोलत आपण ह्या गोष्टीचा विचार करायला पाहिजे, नाही का? हे काय पेडॅन्टिक अफेक्टेशन आहे. समजलं काय म्हणताय, काय म्हणत आहे हे समजलं का तुम्हाला?